Excuse me. All right, let's see how I do with this this struggling voice here. What's going on out there, y'all? It's your boy Dre coming to you from the table. Uh, this could be a rough one for me, but I'm gonna do the best I can. I'm battling with the voice a little bit here. I appreciate all suggestions. I might have to go over to Starbucks to see what Brock was talking about. I heard of that one before, and a hottie toddy, a couple of those things y'all out there mentioning. So I appreciate the suggestions. I just did some tea and honey and some salt water. Not sick, just I don't know. Been struggling a little bit with keeping my voice long term, so it's a little scratchy right now, but I'm gonna do the best I can because not everybody was able to see the action this past weekend, and that's what I'm here for. So happy to be with y'all on another Wednesday, a little later than normal. Again, I didn't think I was going to go on at all today. The way I've felt the last couple of days, and not much has really been projecting, but let's see what we can do. But there you see it, some photos. Not all of them specifically from this past weekend, but some players that were doing the damn thing on the diamond and leaving with some hardware. We'll talk about some of those names, if not all of them, as we get into it. And let's do just that as we get into today's show. First off, I'd like to thank proud sponsor of the Roundtable, Big Al's Cooling and Heating, keeping you Al good. Excuse me, if your air conditioning is acting up in any way, not kicking as strong as you want it to, my man Alex Fletcher is ready to serve you and yours. You can give him a call at 480-848-4404. Email at alex@bigalshvac.com. Again, that's Alex Fletcher with Big Al's Cooling and Heating, keeping you Al good. Proud sponsor of Arizona's #1 ranked women's D team and the GSL state champion Ascension. We will see them back in action a week from this weekend. Let's see what else we got. Another proud sponsor of the table is ADT Restoration. Free inspections, wind damage, water damage, mold, water cleanup, and much more. Up to $1,500 referrals for plumbers, and up to $1,000 deductible is paid. 602-695-6023 for ADT Restoration. Tell them that Dre sent you. Proud sponsor of 480 ADT, a senior men's AAA team. Also, to a proud sponsor of the Roundtable, special thanks to Golden Heart Pool Care. With over 10 years of experience, your local trusted pool service and repair company, specializing in regular service, green pools, and new equipment installs. Willie and Company also have hats and batting gloves available. Hats can be made in any specific color, usually with a day turnaround. So get with Willie, Christian Johnson, or Travis Decker for any of your apparel needs and wants. And when you think of pools, you think of Golden Heart Pool Care. 602-363-7469. Willie, we already talked a little bit about it. We're about to make that reality, though, because, I definitely got a pool that I need you to look at, possibly maintaining going. You let me know what's good, bro. But let me know if you got anything available this week on the side, and we'll make something happen for sure. I don't just talk about him. I'm about to be about him and have him come visit and do what he does best. Willie Clark Jr., Golden Heart Pool Care, proud sponsor of the fellas, Men's D, Men's E, Standard Plumbing, Men's C, and we'll talk about his other team in a little bit. Did I miss something here? Okay. A little bit of an update to the logo. I just saw, excuse me, a little bit before the show. I love it. Bound for Ohio, Arizona's number 2 ranked men's D team is the SOBs. Man, things have picked up in the last couple weeks with this raffle. Somebody's going to be really excited in 3 days. It's not too late to get your ticket. 1 ticket for $5, 5 tickets for $20. And again, as of about 30 minutes before, I looked on a page, I saw $3,200. That's a lot of bread. So get yours. Get with any of your favorite member of the SOBs. Again, they just put up a post of their jerseys that I guess they're going to be wearing. I'm not sure if they're going to be wearing them this weekend or if they're holding out until they go to Worlds. Yeah, the new jerseys are fire. I've always liked their use of there's a couple different teams that does it, but their use of an MLB logo and incorporating that SOB. The White Sox one was tough. They do some good things, but this a play on the Arizona Diamondbacks. I love it. I love it for sure. Yeah, whoever did that cursive on that came out tight. So yeah, I'm a jersey guy. Y'all know that. But get with these guys again. 3 days away, over $3,200 already, and they ain't scared to add a few more bucks in there before their live raffle in 3 days. And also shout out to my man Matt Webb and the crew. Be happy. There you see it. I'm rocking the gear here today. They got some bats that will be going on sale soon. Pre-orders are being taken right now. Those teal boys right there are ASA. Top one is an ASA Torch in a 25 ounce, and then that bottom one is a USSSA, an ASA Sinister. And then that one in the middle is the USSSA model. So the black one is the U-Trip model. The other two are ASA. But all things considered, be happy, y'all. Support. I'm a big component of saying swing anything. So why not support a brand with a great message and even better people behind it. So again, shout out to Matt Webb and the family. Happy to promote the bat, and hopefully you guys jump on it. Those bats are going to be available here in the very near future. But last I've heard, they're still taking pre-orders on it. So that Monster brand, be happy. I've swung it in league, the ASA Monsters, fire. So I'm expecting nothing less than great when these ones hit the shelf here in the near future. I believe it's time to get into some things, though. Jump right into the results. Danny Cazards, buy a ticket or two. Bobo, yeah, get with them, or any of those boys. They'll be happy to get you helped out. You'll probably see them this weekend. We'll talk about that in a little bit as we get into the bracket. No doubt, Matt Webb. Yes, I still got this. I haven't seen you in quite a while though, because I've seen a couple other colors. So yeah, I'm happy to rock this, and I'm looking forward to grabbing another one of those bats here in the near future. What up, Travis Decker, good weekend out of him. We'll talk about that. Lots to get into. Some mixed state championship winners and the brackets for this coming weekend. Drop your comments. Show some love to your favorite players, your favorite teams, any predictions you might have on this weekend. And then at the end of the show, I'll go back and I'll go through the comments and address anything. We had a really good discussion last week about the Men's D Challenge Cup, if there should or should not be a second team this year, as there has been the last 2 years. So appreciate the comments and all the love. Excuse me. I'm sounding rough, but let's get through it. All right, so the mixed day state championship, the randoms came out on top in the end. Congratulations to them. Their numbers didn't get any, but did have their results. They defeated GBD 24-7. Photos by Westcott 17-15. YMAH 16-15. Photos by Westcott again, this time in the king seat, 26-7. And then in the ship, in a game that apparently ended early. It did not play all the way through, but final score was 10-1. 18.6 runs scored per game while allowing just 9. PBW, the runner-up, GBD, wound up in third place. YMAH in fourth. Again, did not get official numbers, but the homie Kat Sova, I was able to talk to her a little bit. She said Tyler went 17 for 17. I didn't get a last name, but shout out to Tyler. That's 17 for 17 is pretty damn good. Dallas Montanez, you saw her on the lead into the show. 800, another strong tournament. She's been having herself a solid summer, filling up her mantle with rings. So congrats to those two on some strong numbers. But they didn't have all the stats. This team is bound for Worlds, though, from what I'm told. They got a strong core, obviously, to win this tournament this weekend. Rumor has it that some additions could and will be coming soon. Won't give away any of that information because, I've had that happen before, being told someone was coming to a team and then they didn't. But the randoms figure to be making a run at Worlds. Not a bad start, winning the Mixed Day State Championship. Congratulations to them. Let's go to the seniors real quick. In the senior AAA, which I was a part of this weekend, the Sandbaggers, DTS, they've been the top dog all year. They were the favorite going into this tournament. They didn't disappoint. Damn good team. BTB found out the hard way early, 34-12. Lokai 24-19 to complete pool play. And then Lokai got that draw against them again, played them tough. Again, they were spotted 5 runs, but all the same, 19-15 was the final. Still stroking, 23-13. Dirty Money, 21-13. JD Tools, who were very impressive, 26-18. JD Tools went to the third place game, knocked off Total Madre, who had been one of the best in the AAA division all year coming in. And then in the ship, good game. But in the end, the Sandbaggers win it 20-19 to claim the state championship. Congratulations, JD Tools, second place at 6-2. Total Madre, 6-2 for third place. Sonoran Pavers finished 6-2 and in fourth. It was a fun tournament. You can say a lot right now. I haven't played in it. My team finished right outside the top 4, tied for 5th place. Our 2 losses to the second and third place teams. It'd be easy to say that's really strong. Our defense was awful on Sunday. Very disappointing. Toda got the gauntlet, says Matthew Cooley, 7 straight on Sunday. Yeah, they were a really good team. Their outfielders moved well. They had R on the mound. Anytime you have a Paul Jones on the mound, you got a damn good chance to win. I think he almost single-handedly beat us with his pitching, and he had a grand slam and a 3-run home run. The grand slam, though, came after they scored a lot of runs on us after costly 2-out errors. You got to get all 3. I mean, in seniors, you get 5 mats per inning into the open, but in any inning, you get 3 outs to make on defense. And I think there's 2 different innings. We had 2 outs with no runs allowed. They end up getting their 5. Offense brings the fans, but defense wins championships. That's been a popular line in sports for a very long time. And, that cost us this weekend late in both of those games against Toda and JD Toole. So hats off to those guys. But the Sandbaggers did it from top to bottom. I mean, no team broke 20 on them. That's hella good. In slow pitch softball, if you can hold a team under 15, you really have a chance. 4 of their 7 games, the opponent had 15 or less. So very good defense, but the staple of this team for sure is a very potent offense. But look at the numbers. They don't lie. 37-6, their in-class record on the year. That is one of the highest winning percentages in all of Arizona softball, hands down. 23.86 runs per game, 15.57 runs allowed per game. They had a 762 team average. Again, if you're wondering how that is possible, seniors gain 5 run max per inning up into the open inning where you can score as many as you want. I don't think they batted in the open inning many times at all. They were just that dominant early on in the tournament. 762. I don't think they had many innings where they recorded 3 defensive outs. They were very, very stout. I got to watch them a couple different times, and I'm talking from leadoff to the bottom, straight fire coming off the bat. They had those power guys in the middle, but every guy on that team, even the ones at the bottom, could be a leadoff hitter for any other team. That's how good they were, working both sides of the ball, using their home runs the right way. Shout out to their leader, Adam McGrew. He talks it and he backs it up. 962, 7 home runs. Pretty sure he was only retired 1 time in the tournament, if those numbers add up correct. I mean, you can't get much higher than 962. So the big man rates for sure. Congrats to him. Jason Kent, 913. So 2 different guys over 900, but they had some at the 800 clip doing their thing. Matty Ice, 857. Joe Ramos, 840. Ryan Mittendorf, 778 with 7 home runs. I've played with Ryan Mittendorf. First of all, you never want to be on first base when he's up because big lefty hits the ball very, very hard. But that's someone that I love, and he's played on some rough teams, and it's good to see him on a team like this winning a state championship. So shout out to my man Ryan Mittendorf. Cooley sent me some more information. I mean, the numbers all around were pretty staggering. Nick Pickle, 762. Jay Fine, 760. Amato, 750. Flores, 696. Yeezy, 667. Cooley, 647. Gabe, 609. Tree, 556. And that's no disrespect to my man Tree, but if the lowest one on your team is 556, yeah, you're doing something right. But 762, 25 home runs, hella talent. From that Sandbaggers team. The major division is going to get themselves a damn good one next year, so we think. But we can't wait to see what they do in Worlds. I mean, there's plenty of other good teams in that division, but this one stands broad and shoulders at the top. So congratulations to them on a hell of a weekend in claiming the state championship. And let's talk about a couple of the big names, the MVPs of sorts. We talked about McGrew, 962, 7 home runs. Both of those led the team. And Matthew Corson, 857. He pitched all 7 games. So he was getting it done on both sides of the ball behind that strong defense, pitching well and contributing at a high clip at the plate. So, Adam, Matthew, congratulations. Hella job this weekend. Way to represent for your team in winning the USSSA Senior AAA State Championship. Good shit. Matthew Richter. His Facebook page says Matthew Corson. Get up or wait. Oh, no, you're tagging them. I'm sorry. Whatever. Let's move on. The USSSA senior major state champions. This team is racking them up right now. They won the NCS senior state championship. They come over to USSSA. They do the same. Early on, they took an L to AZ Heat 20-11, so it wasn't exactly close, but it woke them the hell up from there as they knocked off SBOB 19-18. From there, they took on AZ Heat again, beat them 25-14 in the King seat. They defeated my AZ Lawyers, Blue Point 25-14. They were able to get back into championship contention, but in the end, 17-13, the Factory has claimed yet another title. Congratulations. I'm not going to lie. I mean, this was the matchup I predicted for the championship. My AZ Lawyers was stacked. Plenty of people felt the same way about that roster. It was put together really nicely. The Factory was missing a couple familiar faces. No Rob Cave this weekend. No Nugget. No problem. Again, this team has been one of the best, if not the best, and most consistent senior team this year. And on another big stage, they get it done again. My AZ Lawyers settles for second place. Bandits, Standard Plumbing, settles for third. And SBOB finishes in fourth place. The numbers, 25-12 overall in USSSA play, and that doesn't include the dominance that they've had in the NCS ranks as well. They scored 19 runs per game. They allowed 16.6. So it's not a huge run differential. They got W's. 645 team average, not too shabby. 40 home runs in 5 games. They were jacking them up. Frank Reese, joked with him a little bit early in the morning. He was talking about everything about his batting stance. His approach in the box was ugly, except for the result once he makes contact. And he does it again, 750 to lead the way this weekend. Patrick Hester, 737. Doug Taraski, also at 737. George Estrada, I've been calling him Little Altuve, but George is older than Jose Altuve and probably taller. So we'll call him Big Altuve. 714 for George. George has been doing pretty good this summer as well, having won a state championship with the men's C AZ Athletics. Now he gets a senior major state championship. So congrats to my dog there. And Stu Dempsey, model consistency for this team. Another 700 clip for him this weekend. So congrats to those guys. Shout out to my dog, Patrick Dozier. He was killing in that shortstop. When I was taking a look, you see Mickey Czar there in the picture as well. Leland Bear sacrifices his body more than most in this state on the defensive end. If he feels he can lay out and get a glove on it, he's going to do just that. Humble in there as well. A lot of the local dogs who had still been doing some good work in what's considered kid ball when we're out there as seniors. But this 40-plus squad, hell of a year for sure. And as we take a look at their top performers, Papa filling in this weekend, and, you know, he's a utility teammate. Not saying a utility player, but on any given weekend, Papa could be asked to play, and he's going to come out there, and he's going to be one of the best performers on the field. He does it again this weekend. 615 at the plate, 2 home runs, and 4-0 on the mound. Shout out to one of my heroes, one of the ones that I look up to the most. And we were talking about senior challenge cup considerations and things like that. And Baba gets around and all that good stuff. And we've talked about managers guys who've been asked to manage at the Challenge Cup who might not manage their own team or within said division, because we've had guys like myself I've managed at the Challenge Cup twice. Neither one of those years I led my own team as the manager, just as I was the vocal leader, but not as the manager per se. Then we talk about guys that get opportunities in divisions outside of the one that they played and managed in. Billy Stedman immediately comes to mind. Baba would be my pick for a AAA manager. There's a lot going on out there, and the seniors in the 50s, they're set guys that tend to get selected every year. AAA tends to be up for grabs. I know there was a lot of conversation about AAA didn't go as smoothly last year. Papa would make sure it went great. He ain't one of those guys that plays favorites. He's going to be the most liked guy in the dugout as the manager, but he won't be scared to make the tough decisions. So if anyone with a vote is listening, this would be the perfect selection, in my view, for the senior AAA Challenge Cup team. I know a couple people said my name. I got other stuff that I'm dealing with and working on, and I would be the first one to say that Garcia deserves an opportunity to go out there and play it, but if not play, manage and he's one of the best leaders among men in our Arizona softball community. And like I said, I love him like a big brother for sure. So I'm hoping he gets considered for that gig. And then we talk about this other gentleman who, I don't care what division he's playing in. Patrick Hester is a dog for sure right now. And anytime you see him on the field, 737, 8 home runs, 20 RBIs. He led his team in this tournament in OBP, home runs, RBIs, and hits. Again, all of that, one tournament, killing it. Got to see a couple swings from him. They both left the yard. Not surprised. But my man continues to show up and show out. When he ain't out there making great country music, he's on the ball field doing his thing, representing for the culture. So, Pat Hester, hats off to you, my brother. Great job yet again this weekend. And Papa, we love you, man. We hope in some capacity you're Challenge Cup bound. If you want it, you deserve to be there this year. So again, congratulations to those guys and all the members of the factory. Shout out to Casey Morrell and the For Him brand. You put your name on a good one here. This squad continuing to kill it, and a state championship yet again. Congrats to them. Let's move on to the Mixed D division. Again, didn't get a lot of results from the second place teams, but I did from this squad. I apologize as the font got a little big, covered a couple faces. You didn't look that good anyway. But shout out to the crew, the Misfits, number 3 in the latest roundtable rankings. Some changes will be coming. I'll be releasing some rankings here in the next couple weeks. But Amanda was pretty happy with the results from her squad this weekend. A surprising run to the ship. And she put I didn't even notice this till right now on the picture. She put a smiley face over that. I think that's her own face. She did tell me Frank led OBP. I was just going off of what was sent. Am I wrong? Correct me in private, Nugget. You weren't even there. Shut up. Just kidding. OBP. Yeah, that's my bad. Frank did lead. Okay, my bad. Sorry. I don't want to discount Frank because, again, with his ugly approach, he's a bad man in the box. So, my bad, Frank. Good shit, Baggers and JD. Okay, for sure. But let's get back here. Misfits, Dylan Fryery, 833, Ariel Robbins, 714, Josh Ritchie, 706, and Amanda Rydell, 500 to round out the top men and females for the runner-up Misfits. Where's Amanda has some stuff to say more about her team, so I want to give her that respect. Don't cover up your face on your pictures, girl. She said she was crying, but so I guess that's cool. Cody Booth killed it, pitching through eight. Pitching, he threw 8 under the knee pitches, and 7 of them were outs. David Thomas and his right-hand man, second baseman Josh, were on fire. They literally cover both sides of the field on their own. Them together in the middle infield is nasty. I haven't gotten to see Josh play as much, but I do know David Thomas is a defensive whiz out there, so good shit. Ariel came out for the last 2 games and helped the girls and myself stay strong so I could keep coaching and the girls could rest injuries. Dylan, old reliable, hits the shit out of the ball and kills in the outfield. Him and David Holgate, the Misfits' newest addition, keep the outfield together, having fun and sitting batters down. Definitely 2 of my favorite former teammates. Step Bros. There's a lot of Step Bro representation on this team for sure. But again, Misfits, congratulations on a runner-up finish. But the end game, yeah, they're pretty damn good. And they are a rare recipient. They are the USSSA Mixed D back-to-back state champion. Early in the year, we talked about it. We made some jokes about it. No bump for the Bangers after a season where they won 7 championships, including the state championship. But why not stick around, run it back? They do it again, and this, their 7th Mixed D championship of 2023. 29-3 is their in-class record on the year. That is stupid. 15.5 runs scored per game while allowing just 8. Their road, they defeated Why Not 16-9. GTA 21-8. Misfits gave them all they could handle in the king seat 9-8, and then they got pissed off. 16-7 was the final score of the championship game. Again, Misfits at the number 3 seed or number 3 ranking finish in second place at 3-2. Creep Squad coming off of a runner-up performance their last time out. They go 4-2 this time for third place. Why Not? 4th place at 3-2. You see number 1, you see number 3, one of the stunning numbers of the weekend was 0-2 for number 2 ranked Grand Royale, who had been scorching hot coming in, but they fall twice by 1 run. But they've got more things down the line as they get set for Worlds. But this Bangers team, they wanted that quote-unquote inevitable showdown. They didn't get it, but they handled their business and winning their 2nd consecutive state championship. Good God. I sound terrible. Let's see what we got here. Joe Shiesty. Jose Valencia, 900. Wow, good stuff from him. Slick Nick Wallace, the homie, goes for an 822. Lindy Summers added to the mix this week, 700 for them. And Latera Curtis, 588 to round out the leaders for the state champions. I'm pretty sure every member of that team has a nickname as we take you to their MVP board. The tournament most valuable player is Slick Nick Wallace, BDN. You go ahead and figure out what that stands for. 882 on base percentage, 7 doubles. Another guy that is never scared to sacrifice his body on the defensive end. And he does it again this tournament. This dude, this is coming from their manager and Challenge Cup manager, Rad Radke. Speaking about Nick Wallace, this dude is straight money. He makes plays that aren't easy at all. Looks really simple. talked about the numbers. If you ever watch bangers play, doubles means shake that ass on second base, and it gets the dugout fired up. So Nick don't really strike me as the popping that ass type. So shout out though to my man Slick Nick. Let's see what else. Joe Shiesty 900 provided the thump this weekend in 10 plate appearances. He drew 3 walks, had 6 extra base hits with 10 RBIs. Massive for the lineup. Lindy, her first tournament with us, and she showed out. Her precision was on full display, constantly hitting that backside line, and she used her speed a few times to take extra bases. Her energy was fierce, and it really lit up our sideline. And Latera, as consistent as they come, her patience at the plate earned her 4 walks, and that kept traffic on the bases all day long for the meat of the lineup. She gets it done by any means necessary. Billy Radke getting shown some love. He held each team under 10 runs. He had 4 strikeouts, and he did a really good job pitching to his defense while batting .600 and leading the team with 12 RBIs. And the rest of the ladies and gents were all bunched up between 5 and 600 with a team average of .650 overall on the weekend. Rad always sends me a very nice novel to read, always some good content. But again, bangers back to back. Hey, you should have sent me the video. I would have played it here on the show because I need to see my man Nick Wallace. I know I saw a lot of Little Dumpy popping for y'all last year, and now Nick Wallace doing the thing this year. Back-to-back state champions. That is why Rad is headed to the Challenge Cup, and a lot of his players are probably going to be headed there too. The Bangers are the state champions. There will be more mixed action to come, though. Can they get to number 8 before we head to Worlds? But the Mixed C closes us out here tonight. And Standard Plumbing, Golden Heart Pool Care, 2 tournaments, state champions. They won their last time out on a Friday Night Lights, and they decided we got a good thing going. Let's go win a state championship. Checkmate. 8-0 in their 2 tournaments, 23 runs scored per game, while allowing just 12. Their road 27-14 over the Jaeger Bombers. Followed that up against the number 2 ranked Los Travesos, thrashed them 23-6. All of a sudden, another new name into the fray. 21-14. It ain't a typo. They met again in the championship game. 21-14 was again the final score. All of a sudden, finished in second place. Built Different in third. Surprising result from Arizona's number 1. Haven't looked as great the last couple tournaments out. Competition catching up with them for sure. And in fourth place was Four Peaks at 1 and 2 for the event. I didn't get a picture. Oh my God. One did get sent to me a little late. I'll share it. Brandon Herrera sent me this picture after I'd already gone on the show, but this is the squad. It's probably a little bright. Can't really see it, but it's a South Park picture, so I liked it. But they did send me some numbers. I just didn't have the picture to post it with, so they didn't get a separate slide. Cassandra Royals, 631 to lead the ladies. Pi Salas, 588. Bubba Ozuna. There's that name again. I talked about Bubba last week. This kid is on one for show. 789 for Bubba. Alex Wells at 750, along with Daniel Needham. And another person that I had been talking about was the defense of Katie Campbell. And Katie showed out again this past weekend. But some things were said. She said, all the teams had great sportsmanship and good vibes. Just wanted to make sure you knew Bubba was the MVP of the team. Daniel Needham, Alex Wells pitched and hit their tails off. And Katie was getting some love as far as what she does on the defensive end, along with Cassandra Royals, who called a line drive for a third out with the bases loaded. And then Katie had a rally-ending double play, and it came off the bat of one of the more powerful guys, young talents out there, in Damian Alarcon, who hit a shot to her at third base. She said her life flashed before her eyes, but she was able to make the play. And it resulted in a double play. So, again, Katie Campbell, pack your bags for Florida. I got no doubt you're going. Another strong weekend out of you in leading the way for those ladies. But she's here showing that love. Bubba Ozuna, another hella weekend from him, 2 in a row from that man who's continuing to get his name in the paper and all over. Very, very talented. But let's talk about the state champs here. Christian Johnson, Little Dumpy, while his Banger family was winning another title, he got back-to-back of his own, as he won with the Bangers last year, and now he leads Standard to the crown this year. 938 for the very gifted center fielder. Zach Ketcherside is a bad man on the mound. 846 for him. Cassidy Salkowski at 846 and Cherie Bloomquist at 812. There's not a weak link on that screen. Like them, love them, hate them. That's a freaking well put together team. 1 through 12, very, very solid. The Carpio crew in there, Lacar, Willie, Mary Morton in there as well. Decker continuing to have himself a solid turnaround year. Casey, of course. Casey's a good face to have in there. He's got a lot of pop, very aggressive. He's bounced around a little bit. Good to see him land with this squad. If they're going to Worlds for mixed, that's a damn good team. Again, we've got a lot of different Worlds events coming up, and I like to do my research on a lot of things. I like to look at the rosters top to bottom for the top teams and all that good stuff. And this is a group of talented players that they got some cockiness to them too, which I really like. So I don't think they're going to feel any pressure in me saying this. I think of any Arizona team as we get ready to go into the time of the year for Worlds. I think this team in this division is the most equipped squad to win Worlds. Whether it's men's, women's, mixed, this is the team I think that gives Arizona its best chance to win a Worlds title this year. It's just a very, very talented team. They just have that great mix of cocky. They got some quiet studs. They got some vocal dugout leaders. They got a pitcher that'll take off the helmet and talk shit right at you. They got a bit of everything, and that's just going to make them very, very tough to beat at Worlds. So hopefully they're going. I know it's not here in Arizona this year. I believe it's in Vegas. And Rad, I'm not taking anything away from the Bangers. I think the Bangers have a good shot too, but the Bangers let me down last year. There's a lot of hype behind the Bangers. Y'all got eliminated by Revolution. I don't even think they were a 500 team going into that tournament. So don't give me no shit. But I think this SBS squad, yeah. I like both of the co-ed state champions, the C and D. That A squad was pretty nice too, but this is the one. If I'm putting my money on anyone to win Worlds this year, I just have a very, very strong belief in this squad, no doubt. But let's see. I think I've been touching on a lot of the comments though as we go. Rad though showing a little love there for his former teammate. But he looked a little salty. Noted. don't act like I won't be rooting for y'all. I just said who I felt might be the best equipped for it for sure. Danny Cazares, though, showing some love for one of his own, Daniel Needham. Can't wait to see how they bounce back this weekend. But while we're on the subject of that, let's get into the brackets for this coming weekend. This is the top half of the men's D for the state championships this weekend. Let's take a look at it. Brew Crew, who is a very surprising 0-2 at GSL States, they will try to turn it around against the Pursuit in that 8 a.m. opener. They'll have to go back-to-back because at 9:20, the winner of that game will take on the number 4 ranked Fellas. Before I get too deep into this, my rankings have not changed since before GSL States. So keep that in mind. But Fellas do figure to still be a top 5 team. Number 4 in the latest rankings going into this one, earning them that early bye. NGE, excuse me, will take on the Road Warriors. I believe I'm thinking of the right team because I think NGE is they've been playing good ball. That's a tough first matchup for number 1 ranked Backdoor Boogie, especially after they only went 1-2 at GSL. I think this NGE team, I want to say they were like a top 5 finisher in that tournament. That doesn't reflect what they've done for the entire year, but NGE, and I'm not sleeping on the Road Warriors, though. They've had some issues this year. But NGE, if that's the team that I'm thinking of, versus Backdoor Boogie at 1040, that could be a really, really good early matchup. So, Danny, make sure your squad is ready. Hell, get there at 8 a.m. Scout out the competition a little bit. But NGE could be a tough out at 10:40 a.m. Obviously, the 2 winners right there would go to 120 on Polo. So going from Yankee to Polo, even though it's U-Trip, so no DHH, they'll get to swing a little more freely on that bigger field out there. Mexicali, coming off of a second-place performance at GSL. I like that for them because, they've always had a couple guys that aren't scared to let the hands fly a little bit. This could be a little tougher for them. U-Trip versus GSL is not quite the same beast. So I expect them to come out hot against Complete Chaos, but a matchup against Not Young at 1040, that could be a really good game. Again, how will Mexicali play without the home runs? They get a benefit there because the first game on Fenway, I don't know a ton about Complete Chaos. I expect Mexicali to beat them. But that second game on Polo, again, big bats for those Mexicali boys, and they'll get the flex a little more on the bigger field. That could help them against a solid Not Young team who figures to walk through the Wednesday Warriors. No disrespect for them. It's just predictions. And at the bottom of this side, Sick Invite versus Luke Air Force Base. I got Luke Air Force Base. They don't play a ton. That's a scrappy group. I'm not going to say anything bad about Sick Invite today. I like Luke Air Force Base to win that game. The winner of that will take on the number 2 ranked SOBs. They did not play at GSL States. They're home for this one. And figuring to continue on the hot path that they've had. I believe they've won 6-7 times across a couple different sanctions. Very, very strong team. Again, some people might sleep on them because they weren't at GSL States. Before they were gone, they were a player for sure, and I expect them to come out of that 1040 matchup regardless of who they face. Mexicali versus SOBs, potentially 240 Fenway. That's another really good game. I mean, they'll get a game under their belt before that matchup, which is a little different than what Backdoor Boogie's going to get before they get a strong early test. I feel like SOBs could coast at 1040, but that 240 matchup could be really good. And then there's a very good opportunity here in the top half of the bracket before we even get to the king seat. Number 1 and number 2 could cross paths. Now, the fellas coming with that heat, says Travis Decker. So we won't sleep on them because the fellas, I believe they were a 3-2 team at GSL. So the fellas are hoping to get that opportunity at Backdoor Boogie at 120. But again, NGE might have something to say about that. Coach Danny says, we ready. We got our starters back plus some new heat. But y'all had new heat last time. Y'all had Cesar Figueroa, and you still went 1-2. I ain't talking shit. I'm talking facts. So we'll see what happens this weekend, though. Love that we're getting a little early chatter from some of the teams. The bottom half of the bracket, my Tropics boys. Happy birthday, Thomas. I know the crew is probably watching. I think they were talking about doing some batting practice. Most of my team is like 2-3 hours away, but they're putting in that work. So we'll be ready. We get our journey started at 10:40 against the winner of You Won't and Moneyballers, which, that's going to be a good game. A couple scrappy teams that might not be ranked. They can knock anyone off at any time. Moneyballers had a decent little run back at GSL, including a win over number 1 ranked BDB. Can't sleep on the Moneyballers. So either team that comes out of this, my Tropics better be ready. That's going to be a hell of a matchup. 10:40 a.m. friendly confines of Wrigley Field. JJ Pool Boys versus Dream Killers. I think that Dream Killers team had a couple upsets back at GSL, so they could be some players in this one for sure. JJ Pool Boys, a top 10 finisher at D Worlds last year. You can never overlook the Pool Boys and their ability to make a run, so that should be a good matchup. EMA versus the PP Snuggles. PP Snuggles definitely turned a couple heads back at GSL, a couple surprising victories for them, so they're no slouch, but Kenny Maynard's a pretty bad dude. There's a difference between pulling off upsets and then facing arguably the best pitcher in the division. Kenny will be ready at 9:20. I think EMA comes out of that 4-pack right there for sure. 240 on Polo is going to possibly be a very familiar matchup because the Tropics were eliminated on Polo by EMA at GSL States. That very same matchup could happen 240 on the very same field. So Tropics EMA at the top half here of the bottom half of the bracket, they could be on a collision course for a rematch. Salsa down there toward the bottom versus Greater Than Most. Both of those teams finished in the top 5 at GSL States. The rankings, man, the computers definitely come back to haunt sometime. But Salsa and Greater Than Most, 2 of the better stories of the GSL State Championship Tournament, they will play each other in the first round. The winner will take on Cafe Elite. So that, in my opinion, that's the best little 3-pack right there. Any one of those teams, I wouldn't be surprised seeing in the 240 winners bracket game. Cafe Elite 3-0 at GSL States. They lost their last 2. Salsa, I think Cafe Elite finished in 6th. Salsa finished in 5th, and Greater Than Most might have been like 3rd. So 3 of the top 6 finishing teams at GSL States right there together. 2 of them will have losses by noon. And the number 5 ranked Bingham Equipment, the GSL Men's D State Champion, will take on 4Base Air, the other SOBs team, in their opener. One Shot's got a bye. One Shot did not get any favors. Although One Shot just won their last tournament, they're feeling good They are very likely going to be taking on the GSL state champion in their first game. The bottom half of the draw got some. Only 2 of the top 5 ranked teams got some dogs down here for sure. So it's going to be a very competitive draw, very fun weekend in the D division. I can make no predictions on this one because I am actively coaching a team in it. It'll be a fun weekend. It's too damn hot. What up, Vince Bivens? Oh, Colin says we're missing some key guys this weekend, including myself, but we have some solid pickups. Going to be a great tournament. So still confident in his guys, even though he's not going to be there. Danny says my 1, 3, 5, 7 hitters, but talk is anyone's tournament. I like it. Bring that. Vince Bivens, let's get it. That's all he needs to say right now. But I guarantee you, once he's on the field, Vince Givens is another one of those dudes. He's a Zach Ketcherside type of guy where he'll take the mask off. He'll talk that good to you on his way back to the dugout. So I can't wait to hear Vince, even though we're not going to be playing each other. I think the earliest we might see each other is toward the evening on Saturday. Thank goodness. I don't want to mess with Salsa a little early on. But a lot of good teams, top teams that struggled a little bit, and some new teams that are starting to peak. Should be a good weekend in the men's D. Here's the men's E. Surprise, 2 of their top 5 teams are not even in the draw this weekend. No 928 boys, no originals. But number 1's going to be there. The Valley Boys, the GSL state champions, they've got the only bye. So they don't start till noon. Here's the worry for them. Platano Power, who just won at Big Dreams. Sidewinders. That's a hell of a first matchup for those 2 teams. On Polo, Sidewinders has been a steady climbing team. They finished 4th at GSL States. Now they play a good Platano Power team in the opener on the biggest field. We'll see how they do. But the winner of that game not only will be playing against the GSL state champions, but you've got to go from the biggest field in Polo to arguably the smallest field in Ebbets. So they're going to have to turn it around. Again, men's E, 1 home run. Everything after that is an inning ending. So how do you go from, Polo to Ebbets? We'll see how the winner of that game factors when they go up against the GSL state champions. Number 3 ranked Full Send versus Hit Happens. Head first, I believe they ended up in 2nd place. I think they were the runners up. I can't remember exactly everything from the E, but Head First versus Familia Jibs. LCB coming off of a win last weekend. The boys from Parker will take on the best name in the tournament in Stiff Dilfs. Down and Dirty, top 3 maybe, or I might have it the other way around. Down and Dirty might have took 2nd. Head First might have took 3rd. They're both top 3 teams. Let's put it like that. Down and Dirty will take on Toros. Alpha Apparel will take on TNA. Make it nasty. And Keep It 100 versus Sandlot. We'll see if Down and Dirty or Head First made any additions to help them. And obviously the Sidewinders are a scrappy group. I think the Sidewinders are better equipped for GSL. I'm surprised that they only took 4th as well as they were playing. But they got some dudes with some pop, so I'm not sure how that's gonna how much that's gonna hurt them in this tournament, but they won't be a slouch, no doubt, going into this one. But I think the Valley Boys are just that team. GSL winning a state title is one thing, but they've been number 1 all year in this E division. They've racked up win after win after win. Their manager, Ricardo Flores, just got engaged. They got a lot of good stuff going for them. That's a happy bunch. They got that music blaring. They dance. They have a good time. They make you think about, back in the days of NVH, Vlad Veris version, when they used to play that music and they used to wild out a little bit. These young boys, the Valley Boys, remind me a bit of them, the way they have a good time and they go out there and ball out. They're the favorite in the E until someone knocks them off, in my opinion. They've just been that good, and I expect them to handle their business again this weekend. So the Valley Boys are my pick to win the second leg. I'll throw it out there right now, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I think Valley Boys win the Triple Crown in the men's E. But Alfred Arena says, don't sleep on us for that FI crew. This is a good addition right here, as Head First says they added Mr. Ben Knapp to the squad. And they did. Okay, so I was right initially when I said Head First took second place. I got to see this Ben Knapp kid, and I'm telling you, I'm a fan. I talked about him last week. I like Ben Knapp. I think that's a very good pickup for Head First. So, that's something for Coach Flores and his crew to think about. Ben Knapp on the other side. Shout out to the homie Frank Federico on getting engaged as well. Love seeing these love stories come together. I've got one divorce on my resume, so it doesn't always work out. But I am hoping for the best for both of those gentlemen in getting engaged. Happy is a good look on anyone, so I'm definitely rooting for these guys and their partners. So that's about everything. I think I covered most of the stuff coming in there. But my boy Matt Webb did show some love. So, again, shout out to him. Love everything about the Be Happy brand. Happy to wear it here on the show. Let's see. Yo, what up to my man Bill Unger and, of course, the little nephew. What up, Brody? Hope you're doing good, kid. Can't wait to see you again out at the fields. I know y'all been busy all summer, so I ain't seen you in a minute. But I love y'all. Yo, Dre, Craig brought me on the – oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Again, I don't know if there's going to be a second Challenge Cup team or anything like that. But if you've got Bobo Hammonds from a top 3 team helping out with co-ed, and then you've got Craig Reynolds and Danny Cazares together, beautiful thing. Craig and Danny together, that's 2 very good minds that get to check out that whole D division this weekend. So if you're playing Backdoor Boogie or the Tropics, bring your best, because eyes are going to be on a bit of everything. You don't have to bring your best when you play the Tropics. Let us get that dub. We'd appreciate it. Now, we look forward to seeing everyone ball out this weekend, and happy to hear that news that those 2 are pairing up to lead the men's D, the only men's D team at this moment, but we'll see if anything else comes of that. Are you going to go live for some games in E? Excuse me. So, no. It's too hot. I think I was saying something about that. And if I'm there in the evening when the sun goes down, I might think about it. The thing is, right now, 100, it's hot. And I'm back to using my cell phone for the time being. It just does not last in this heat. And honestly, if you're viewing games from home and then the game suddenly cuts out, it's because my phone or whatever device I'm using has overheated. It sucks. You know who it sucks the most for? Me. Because I'm getting all into the play-by-play and loving what I'm doing on the mic. and then when the sun causes the game to overheat and I can't announce, I'm angry. I'm glad it takes a few minutes for the phone to cool off to go back on, because at that point I am angry. And but there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, I've tried wet rags, I've tried clip on fans that you can clip onto your phone, and it might help you for a bit. Um, but the rags sometimes it's not good on the phones because you can get water damage. I don't care if they say phones are waterproof. It's not meant to just sit in water. And sometimes the water just really gets into the phone devices, and um, it's just tough as it relates to announcing. I've been doing stuff. I did that tournament with Harlem, and it was good. Um, and I plan on going back, for the next all nighter or whenever he asks me to do the next tournament. And then hopefully into the fall and winter, it gets a little cooler and it makes it easier to go live for games. But right now, it's just I've accepted the fact that the Arizona summers are impossible for me to do this announcing thing. So the show is good. I'm having fun doing the show, and the content, the recaps. It's cool. The coaches are doing a better job of getting me the information this year as opposed to past years. So, I'm enjoying that. But it sucks not being able to do the play-by-play, because that's my baby. That's my main thing that I take a ton of pride in, is going live for those games for you guys. But I don't believe I'll be able to do any this weekend, unless it's in the evening. I think I'm pretty sure men's D goes in the championship Sunday. Hopefully we get there for this tournament, but I don't know if I'll be going live. It's just too difficult right now. Let's see if there's anything else. To be honest, I think I addressed everything as you guys were commenting. Katie, Jose. Jose says girls as players too. Okay, we got videos. That one stays in the vault. Nah, at least send me the Nick Wallace's. I won't post it, but I gotta see if my man is able to drop it like it's hot. Dilly killing it. Good shit from Dylan Fryery. Man, right when people were ready to write off the Misfits, Amanda's crew, second place at States. Congratulations to them. Papa's pitches move so much, it's crazy. Yeah, he's damn good at what he does. If you can get Papa as your fill-in and still and win a state championship, he's a good ball player, but that team very, very talented on both ends. So again, before I get out of here, though, I want to again encourage you guys to get with any member of the SOBs 3 days away from their drawing. Okay. At last mention, they are at $3,200. I'm pretty certain I was told. So if you are in the gambling mood, the SOBs, they're 50-50 raffle, 3 days away. And again, at last check, over $3,200. Get with any of those dudes. 1 ticket for $5, 5 tickets for $20. They will be doing the live drawing, not I. This is their team. This is their baby. If they want to share it on the round table, whatever. End result, one name's going to be said. That person's going to be really damn happy. But y'all can throw me a little something for the promotion, So I'm just kidding. But shout out to my boys, the SOBs. The new logo is fire. The new jerseys, they got the post up. I love it. Best of luck to them with the raffle, and looking forward to seeing you guys out at the field this weekend, as is the case for everyone. Men's D and E, USSSA state championships this weekend, 8 a.m. start time Saturday at the yards. We'll see you there. And then next week, the men's BC, the men's ABC, alphabet soup. And the women's BC and the women's D will get after it for the USSSA state championships, and we will recap it all along the way. So thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to my man, Robert Comstock. It's always a pleasure playing with you. Can't wait to make that trip to Worlds and hang out a bit more with you and Clint and the rest of our crew. Again, we are so close. Sure up a couple things on the defensive end. I think we are playing against the Sandbaggers for a state title, but we might have got lucky because the way the Sandbaggers played, they might have beat the brakes off of us too. Congratulations to the Sandbaggers, the senior AAA state champions, the For Him Factory, the senior major state champions. Randoms win the mixed A state title. Standard Plumbing, Golden Heart Pool Care is the mixed C state champions, and the Bangers are back-to-back USSSA mixed D state champions. Congrats to all those teams. We'll crown a few more state champions this week. Until then, I gotta go gargle some salt water. I'm out, y'all.